diplomatic talks happening. We know, of course, there are some efforts being carried out, whether it's the Egyptians, whether it's the Pakistanis, others are involved. But it's certainly, in terms of what we can detect from the outside, nothing that seems serious. And the war rages on, and the fact that the president is providing these ultimatums and talking about hitting more targets and so on, he seems to be on the path of escalation, which contradicts any idea of diplomacy. So at this point, I think it is probably not that unfair for us to assume that there is really not much of a diplomatic track that's alive right now. That doesn't mean it couldn't happen. It could happen. We have to remember that the Iranian side can't stay in this war forever either. They too, if they're given a credible off-ramp, might want to take it. I think they would. But clearly right now they don't feel the American president's given them off-ramp. He's still asking for what he's asked for throughout this war, unconditional surrender, which, as we can tell, the Iranians are not ready to give him.
Yeah, they've described it in the past as a series of maximalist demands that he's been making. Is there a way, given what you were just saying about the position that Iran regards itself as being in, nevertheless, given the risks of escalation, particularly, of course, in the Gulf region itself, is there a way, do you think, that Iran would be able to de-escalate by making some changes in its own position without handing over what it would regard as its fundamental rights?
I would very quickly point to a historical precedent here that is actually pretty relevant. During the Iran-Iraq war, the Iranians for a long time, in fact for 8 years, kind of refused a ceasefire because they said they were going to bring Saddam Hussein down. And for 8 years they insisted, at a huge cost for the country of Iran. Thousands can quickly go further south than we already are. But look, Gulf neighbors particularly, to see if there's a way to reduce tensions. Now, again, you were talking about maximalist demands that Iran and the United States have put against one another. Iran, in some ways, have also put some maximalist demands towards the Gulf states. But again, if you soften your position and you accept the basic reality that it's not just Iran that's hurting, the Gulf states are hurting, and if the United States sort of parks itself out and says this is no longer my war, then the logic would perhaps tell us that there should be a way for these countries that are going to be neighbors regardless when this war ends to look for a way out to reassure each other, particularly if the United States decide that it's had enough and it's walking away.
It's really interesting to get your thoughts on this. Anas Vatanka, we appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Well, the threat of escalation in Iran puts the Gulf region.
So far, what you have seen, Ras Tanura, one of the largest, the largest energy facility in the east of the country, the east of Saudi Arabia, was attacked. The Yanbu energy facilities were attacked in the western part of Saudi Arabia. Then Ras Laffan in Qatar, the Ras Laffan gas facility is not only the largest in Qatar, but globally also is the biggest one. And then Habshan gas.
Minions have spawned.
The city is my hunting ground.